Welcome to Mary Kay Bootcamp, Pink Bootcamp, not just regular old bootcamp, Pink Bootcamp. I am beyond excited to do this with you guys. This is going to be phenomenal. I'm just totally jazzed. We looked at boot camp for those of you that have done it with us before and realized that everything needs to change. I know our favorite word has become pivot, but you know what? What is better than being able to do that? Just make a new direction. And so what we want to do, Mary Beth and Christy and I got on the phone the other day and we just shared our hearts. And we just talked about what does leadership mean and what is being a leader. And basically a leader, or empowerment, empowerment. We always use that word, empowerment. We love that. It makes such a great statement. But empowerment just means that you have the authority to whatever that may be. So empowerment just means you have the authority to accomplish what you want, to do what you want, to be able to have the things that you came into Mary Kay for. And so as we revisited that, we just felt like, we need to give you guys not only the nuts and bolts, but also the words and break it down into simple. Not because you guys are simple or you're simple-minded, but when we take away all the excess, we take away all the confusion, we get down to just the very basic things that are most important. And so that's what we chose to do. So today, as we're starting, Christy talked about it a little bit earlier, but we're not rushing through this. We have no intention to try to get through it as fast as we can in 4 hours. We really want to be able to talk about each situation, have some open dialogue, and really talk about how this can be for you. So just know that all of this is done with your success in mind, not for us to talk more and, to look on, watch the videos and go, oh, I did a good job, but for you to leave here truly empowered with complete authority to take and to do anything and everything that you want to. And so we want you to have the success that you came into Mary Kay for. And that's what we are going to give you the tools that you need to have. So welcome to Pink Bootcamp. And I am going to turn it over to Miss Christy. She's going to give you a little overview of today.
Yes, I am.
Okay, no, she's not.
Yes, I am. I just, I got distracted by a text message. And so I need to turn my phone over and not be looking at other things. So posted on your Facebook group page for your team is this. It's called Pink Bootcamp, and each week when we go through this, there'll be additions to it if we're going to go over new material. But if you want to print it out and have it in front of you, I think it would be absolutely amazing. I am going to go ahead and share my screen, because I know that most everyone did not have an opportunity to get this printed out before we got together tonight. So I am just going to do this, and I'm just going to kind of share with you guys what to expect over the next few weeks. But specifically what we're going to do tonight also. But so part one is basically preparing for success. And I know we've been talking a lot about that, because you have to prepare for it. It's not going to just happen. We're not going to wake up one morning and all the stars are going to line up and, the magic wand is going to be waved over you and success is going to be there. You have to prepare for it. You have to get ready for it. And so, so we're going to go through what a virtual beauty experience checklist is, like all the things that you might want to think about as you're preparing to start doing things virtually. If you haven't already been doing things virtually, or you might see something that is a little different. And I think that what we are finding is that practice makes progress. It's never going to be perfect, but I think after every single one, we look at it, we look at what we did well and the things that need to be changed. And so the word of the year truly is pivot, and we will continue to do that for the next 6 months. So, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about booking and who to book. Sometimes we're like, I don't have anybody to book, but you guys, you do. And we're going to teach you some new ways and some new exciting things to do. And so like how to meet new people and what do I say? I think that's probably probably the next thing. It's like, I don't want to get on the phone with someone and not know what I'm going to say. They say that girls don't stutter. Well, this girl does stutter. When she doesn't know what she's going to say, I stutter, you guys, and then I don't feel confident. And so when you've got the words in front of you, you may not use the exact words, but use the words that are on these scripts, because this will make a huge difference in what you're doing. I remember when I started my Mary Kay business, I read this book of scripts that came in my starter kit, and I thought, there is no way I'm going to say any of this. This does not sound like me, and I'm not going to say it. Well, guess what, you guys? I wasn't very successful at first, and then finally I decided to use the scripts, and it worked. And so I still believe in scripts to this day. And we're going to talk about tracking. Obviously, a tracked number grows. We'll talk about coaching and confirming your appointments, the importance of pre-profiling, and then follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. Guys, there is $1 million to be made in follow-up. And so we just want to go into that beast mode follow-up and not let anything fall between the cracks. And so we're going to give you some great tracking tools that will help you with the follow-up. So I'm going to turn this on over to Nancy, and she is going to walk us through. She's going to walk us through our checklist.
Okay, am I unmuted here? Yeah. Do you have it set up so that they can see you, so that you can show them, or no? No? Okay, it's no big deal. All right, guys, your virtual beauty experience checklist. I don't know about you, but when I started doing the virtual beauty experiences, I found it very difficult to get everything put together. And so just getting the package together and getting it sent to the guest, and it just seemed very overwhelming to me. And I thought, there's something wrong with me. I'm not doing this right, because I felt like not panicked, but overwhelmed all the time. And so obviously I just kept at it and kept at it. And then I realized that I was not being prepared, and I was not set up for success. And I was still trying to do things the way that I had done it when I was seeing people face to face, and I wasn't prepared to be ready. So this is your checklist. If I sent you the, if you're on my team and I sent you the pink boot camp, that is not the one we are going to be using. We added some things to it. So the one that we will be using will be on our Facebook tomorrow. So just disclaimer there. Okay, what do you put into a spa bag for a mix and mask beauty experience? So when you see mix and mask on our calendars, that's a beauty experience. Your Time-Wise 3D Miracle Set combination to a normal to dry, charcoal mask, microderm refine, and pore minimizer. Okay, where do you get your samples? You can order them from Mary Kay, or option 2. The problem with that is, it's not that they're not great, they are, but they don't have them always. When we went into COVID and they discontinued doing some manufacturing, what was available is what we were able to purchase. And then of course, because everyone is working virtually, they are often out. So instead of waiting until they're in or saying, I can't do this, you have several options. One is the sample jars. And when we get to that page, you'll see them. The second one is some heat sealed sample bags. And several different sizes. They can be purchased, and then of course you can label them. So next page. I love pictures. So here's a picture, guys. Here's the examples and the links. These Mylar, they're not Mylar, whatever they are. Yeah, they are Mylar foil sealable bags are my new obsession. I am so excited about them. I love them. They are so easy to use. I've been using the little round containers, but this is a much easier way to sample and to print and prepare. The bags can be purchased from Mary Kay, or not from Mary Kay, on Amazon. And Christy is amazing. If you use this right off of your computer, you can click on the link and it takes you right to where to order it. So it makes it really simple. What I did with the Mylar bags is I cut them in half, and I sealed the extra side so that I could get 2 out of each one. My purpose for that, you can either use a flat iron, or of course you can use the impulse bag sealer. They're about the same price. So if you want to get something really professional, feel free to do that. If you just want to use your flat iron, you can. You'll notice here that there's also another link to watch the demo. A friend of Alana's made this. It's very simple, very straightforward. It works beautifully, guys. And I love the fact that it makes it small enough to make the samples look nice. One of the things that I struggled with is putting a little tiny sample in this big container. So when you make the samplers, the little Mylar sealable bags a little bit smaller, it makes it look full. And if you look at Christy's packaging, you see how nice that it looks in the bag. Okay, go ahead to the next one, please. Yes, isn't that pretty? These are also the little round, I don't know what they're called, clear cosmetic containers. This is what we have been using. They work beautiful. If you have some, continue to do so. It's whatever you like better. These are the organza bags that we've been putting everything in. Also, if you click the link, you can go right to Amazon and order them. Also on the bottom here, you'll see our virtual beauty experience. This is where our Facebook group is for working virtually. So you can get ideas from there, the spa beauty bags, how to make them. We have bliss bags and all different things that are listed on there. So join that Facebook group so that you can participate with all the other girls that are on here, not just our unit or just your unit. It's a great way. And share, you guys, when you get on here and you start doing these things, share your ideas, share what you have done. When Jazz started talking about her blessing bags, that just lit a fire amongst many of us, and we started doing that. The bliss bags, the bliss boxes, everyone else's ideas spark and ignite excitement in each other. So I just really encourage you to do that. Okay, next page, girl. Okay, now this is also part of your package that you are going to prepare for your virtual beauty experience. This is our closing sheet. You do want to print this and send it with them. It has all of our sets. If you do not have a customized roll-up bag, you need to get a roll-up bag, put some products in it so that you can use it in the closing. If you have not been on a virtual experience and watched either Christy or myself or Alana or any of the other girls that are doing them, close using the Ida bag. I really encourage you to do that, because if you do not show it and if you do not talk about it, you cannot sell one. If you talk about the queen bag, somebody's going to buy a queen bag. But if all you talk about is the cleanser, that is all they're going to purchase. Although we never ever make anyone purchase, you always have to offer. So that's the closing sheet. The next sheet that we send is just a little bit of why people would come into Mary Kay. What is exciting about it? What do we love? When we have you share, when you're on the beauty experience and we have you share what you did before Mary Kay, what you love about your business, what almost held you back, and what's the one thing that came in your starter kit that you didn't expect, this is really the page that you are sharing with that entire beauty experience. So you being on there with or without guests is a win for you, for the client that could be on there, or the person that's there eager to learn more about Mary Kay, and for your other sister consultants, because your stories sound and are much more encouraging than just hearing Mary Beth and Christy and I talk about all of our years of experience. And so it's really important that when you share, you're sharing what you love, and you're really talking all of the things that are on this page. Now the next page that goes along with it is a little bit about the starter kit. You'll notice it's been changed now where it says April through September 30th so that it's current, and everyone knows that when we share this page, it just opens the door for a conversation. And you can talk about the starter kit, what's available, what comes in it, and everything that they get for their $100 or their $130. And of course, they can do just the e-start, especially right now, which I think is phenomenal. Yay, Mary Kay. And then the last page, this is just start your success story with Mary Kay. And this shows them really, truly an umbrella view. It talks about the starter kit. It talks about the cars. It talks about how to earn money. It talks about the foundation. It talks about how those things happen, what the average sales are. And so it's just another tool. If you have a different personality, a C personality, somebody who likes detail is going to read every single thing on there. If it's someone who is an I personality, they're going to love it because you're fun. So it's just very different. And what we're doing in this, and the reason we have all of these different sheets is because every human being is different. And so when you take the time to mail out that virtual beauty package, you are giving them everything that you can to create the best experience that you can for them, even though it's virtual. And so you are covering all the bases for each person, and they get to pick and choose which is the papers that they pay the most attention to. And then as we do the closing later and talk, you'll see the value of having those sheets for you. Okay, what's the next page, girl?
Okay. Thank you, Nancy. That was amazing. Do y'all have any questions for Nancy before we move to the next part?
I do. Actually, hey Nancy or Christy, either one. But on those little, the little bags that you are, flat ironing, there were 3 different sizes. So which size do you guys recommend that you found is the best size?
I use the 2.3 by 3 by 5 the most.
Okay.
How about you, Nance?
That's the, actually, I haven't even used the larger size yet. I was using, yeah, I did actually. I used the blue ones, which is the smaller ones, the 2.3 by 3.5, just because if you cut those in half, you can do a microdermabrasion and a pore minimizer. If you use the full thing, it looks really, really nice as well. And so I like the smaller size better. The larger size are great for the eye patches because you can get 2 eye patches in there.
Okay.
And then the 2.7 by 3.9, I've actually put some cotton rounds in there with some oil-free eye makeup remover.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sealed so that they can try the oil-free eye makeup remover out as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And I actually put the oil in them and sealed it. And then I opened it up just to see how it did like 3 days later. And it is there. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Good so it really, it keeps the product in there nicely and it keeps it sealed.
Okay. And like Nancy said, if you all open this from your computer and you click on the links, it's going to take you to the place that you can order them. There's the link here to print out the round labels so that you can have a nice printed label for your samplers.
And you know what, guys, when I went from the round containers to the flat to the Mylar foil open sealable bags, I was thinking, oh, I need to change my label. But you know what, guys, just use the same label. It still looks, as you look in Christy's picture, it still looks beautiful. And if you need to use your others for any reason, it fits everything. So if you just try to minimize and be simple, then you don't need to change your labels. Print sheets of them so that you're not going back and reprinting over and over and over again.
Yes, exactly. Any other questions or comments before we move to the next subject?
Fun fact, that would be really helpful sending internationally, because I actually just sent some samples to some friends in Canada, but I had to use like the little plastic things, and so with that I had to pay customs. So if you have that, then you wouldn't have to pay customs fee. So that
is good to know.
Good idea, guys. Yeah.
And you know what? That's great to know. I hadn't sent anything internationally yet, but ooh, that's fun. Also, it does make the package much flatter. So when you're putting them in the mail, it makes them flatter. So.
Okay. All right, you guys.
Works. So if you have one, don't think you have to go get the other. Use them.
Right. Exactly. I just we like having options and giving you guys options. So tonight, it is our goal to get through these next few things. But like Nancy said at the very beginning, we are not going to rush through any of this. We want to make sure that you are getting all of the tools that you need to create the success that you're looking for in this new year in the business. And I think that everyone would agree that we all came into this business to make money. And probably the easiest way to make money in Mary Kay is to sell the product. And what we find is if you are selling and you are making money, you are happy, right? Like I am happy, happy, happy when I'm selling the product, and we want you guys to be doing the same thing. And where do we find our best team members? That's at a beauty experience. And so we're going to focus fully at the beginning of this just on selling the product and booking beauty experiences, because that is the foundation of our business. And Mary Kay herself always said, nothing happens until somebody sells something. So that's where we're going to start. And so we're going to start with, who do I book? Where do I go and find those things? And so here's the thing, you guys, you want to have about 5 avenues of streams of referrals, leads, whatever you want to call it, to work from. And so it starts with your current client base. And if you don't have a client base, if you are brand new, your director will work with you and we will create that initial client base that you'll reach out to. And then we're going to talk about referrals. But really what we want to do with those referrals is turn those into those second appointments. And I can tell you at those second appointments, it's where you build deeper relationships, and it's where you sell even more product, and then you book those next appointments, and that's where your team members come from. So we're going to spend time on that. We're going to create Who Wants to Be Miss Mary Kay USA, like crown me now, I will wear my tiara. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about working with facial jars, and we're going to talk about honoring working women even in times of somewhat quarantine, because there are essential workers out there, you guys, who would love a little bit of pampering. So I'm going to turn it over to Mary Beth, and she is going to go through working within your client base.
Okay, guys. I'm super excited about this. And so this little sheet, isn't it so cute? Like the little, is it LaCroix? I've never had one of those to drink before, but I want one because that picture on the page is so stinking cute. Okay, so working from your client page. Christy, can you go back just a second? Because I thought I was going up a little bit later. And so, so right now we're going to talk about, let's see here. Am I going to talk about the 5 avenues of virtual appointments? I think my list is wrong that I have.
No, so what you're going to talk about right now is just working within your client base.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, perfect. If you'll scroll back up to that cute little page. Thank you. Okay, so guys, there's several things. We have new consultants on here that are like brand new newborn babies, and we have seasoned consultants that have been in Mary Kay for 5+ years. So guys, I want you to think this thought. We all have profile tickets. If you profile tickets from the past, or we have sales tickets, or maybe we don't know anybody, or we've sold just one lipstick to somebody. So guys, this little go list here, this is a list for us to really, if a woman comes to our heart and she comes to our mind, her name goes on this list. Okay, so I've got a little chore for y'all to do, a little challenge right now. Everybody pull up their phone and pull up Facebook, and just shout out super quick, how many friends do you have on Facebook? Write that number somewhere on a sheet of paper. How many friends do you have on Facebook? Give y'all just a quick second to do that. So this go list is going to become your hot list. Okay. And that hot list, it's going to be women that, one, they've been your customer before. Maybe they've never hopped on a beauty experience, or maybe you've never asked her to meet her friends and family. Okay. The go list is going to be your next door neighbor, or the lady at the market that you've always thought of, like, I would love to offer her Mary Kay, but maybe you've been too chicken to approach her. So she's going to go on this go list. Or if you have a cousin that lives in Hawaii, she's going to go on this go list. Or a friend from elementary school that moved to North Carolina, she's going to go on this go list. Okay, guys? So shoot out some numbers that y'all have right now. Facebook. Okay, Yesenia, you have 803 connections on Facebook. Okay, Celeste, 975. Christy, 1274. Guys, look at these numbers. So I want to ask you this to revert back just a second. Who here has been invited to a Pampered Chef party via Facebook in the last 3 months? Like more than one? Like 20? I don't know. So guys, it's not personable. So here's the thing. Our Facebook can be such an incredible tool right now to use, but we have to use it the right way. Okay. It can't be that you slather, hey, who wants a Mary Kay facial? You put that out there, nobody's going to respond to you. Don't be upset. Don't get your feelings hurt. They're just not going to. But we have to be specific and reel it back in. So this go list, Christy, if you'll slide down just a little bit more, I think there's 50 names on here. Guys, if you have more than 50 people on your Facebook page, you should have no problem putting this on here. So let's say you have half of those people you have are men. So what about John? Does John have a mom or a sister or a cousin or a friend? Your friend John is going to know another woman in his life, right? Okay. So I would put on there John's mom. She would be on my list of people. So guys, this list, it doesn't mean that we're going to ask you to call or reach out to 50 people. This is a list that you're going to constantly work. Take names off, scratch them off, replace a name, scratch them off, replace a name. But it's a working checklist of names over and over. So at the very top, it says like circle or highlight your top 6. How do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. If you ask me today to call 50 names, I'm going to shut down. I'm just not going to do it. But if you said, Mary Beth, could you reach out to 6 people this week? I could find time maybe to reach out to 2 people a day or 1 person a day for 6 days this week. That wouldn't make my heart have, palpitations. But who are those 6 people? And guys, before you find those 6 women, I want you to have a second of silent time. And that silent time, I want you to ask the Lord and just lay those women on my heart. Who am I supposed to bless and touch this week? And I promise you, he is going to reveal names to you. It's going to and he's going to give you names. And so those are the names and those are the women that he has laid on your heart and put in your mind to reach out to that week. Okay. So that is truly what I do. Now, guys, some other things that I do when I'm looking to build my contact list of people, just to sit down and have some quiet time. Not necessarily are they on Facebook. Maybe it's just somebody that, I'm in the shower or driving down the road and she pops in my mind. And if she pops in my mind, I'm going to put her on this list. Okay. Any questions over this? Anything else that you want to ask? So I'm going to challenge you guys to do this. This is something that's going to be kind of super important. Print this sheet off or get you a spiral notebook paper and go ahead and use that the next 24, 48 hours. Go ahead and start creating your list of 50 people that you know or 50 people that you want on this list. Okay. And if you get stuck and you feel like you need to move, you reach out to your director. She is going to be so excited to help you with that. So, okay. Is this me, Christy?
It is.
Okay. All right, guys. So scripts. I have heard consultants say so many times, well, you just know what to say. You already have it figured out. I don't really know what to say. Guys, many, many years ago when I was a brand new consultant, we didn't have anything on computers at all. In fact, I don't think I had a computer at my home when I started Mary Kay, but we had a manual, like literally an old school manual that had a few things on how to do a party, like what was, Christy and I talked about this the other day. But scripts, we would sit down and literally write what other people would say. We'd write it out and we would practice it. Christy, I wish I still had that book too. So guys, these scripts, I was a cheerleader in school and I remember rehearsing the cheer over and over and being in the mirror and doing my poses and doing all that stuff back in the day in the mirror. My mom said, I thought the floor was going to fall through the house. But I practiced over and over again. So guys, I'm going to encourage you with these scripts and I'm not going to read them out to you tonight because that's something I want you to do, but I want you to print these off, go in your bathroom mirror, rehearse these scripts over and over and over again. But guys, the more you say these, the more you rehearse these, they're going to come off your tongue just like that. You're not even going to have to think about it. You're going to get on the phone with somebody and Christy said she's stuttering, her heart's beating fast and everything. Once you have a script, then guess what? It's going to roll off your tongue. And so these are amazing. So does anybody have any questions over scripts? Has anybody been bucking the system on scripts? Like, I don't want to do a script.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for Mary Beth before we move on to the next thing? Great job, Mary Beth. Thank you.
Awesome, Mary Beth. Yay.
Okay, I love this next section that Nancy's going to talk to us about. It's amazing.
Okay, guys. This is just talking about asking for referrals. And Mary Beth really, truly took you right to the crux of the matter. She was just talking about taking the clients, friends, neighbors, Facebook friends, whoever it is that you already know. And then how do we ask for referrals? Well, the class or the beauty experience, the face-to-face is where it all starts. But I always use every appointment possible. When you are closing with them, during the class, of course, if you are using your script as we should, you're talking about when we get together next time, when we get together for your follow-up, when we get together to try the color products or whatever. You are setting up their mind to realize that that is an option and an opportunity. So when you are doing the class or the beauty experience, you want to be addressing that. When we were taught, you said 7 times during the class, at your follow-up appointment, or when we get together next time, when we do your checkup. And then when you talked about the products, you talked about the products as if they were their own. And so that's never changed. It doesn't make any difference. Now our follow-up is a little bit different. So during that class, you're going to talk about the hostess program. And the reason that people want to use, the reason you want to use the hostess program is when we're asking for referrals. Who do you know that is needing some pampering? Who do you know, what friend of yours is working on the front lines right now and could use a little extra TLC? Who do you know that's stuck at home with the kids and could use a little bit of pampering and you would love to bless them with a pampering session? Well, as they're writing those names down, not that we can't use them as referral and make a phone call, but how I personally use that is once they have that list of names, that is their guest list for their beauty experience. Okay, so as you talk about the girls on the guest list, it's like, how much fun would it be that you invited them instead of me and you got a shopping spree of up to 50% on me? So go to the next page. There we go. There is our hostess program. You guys, I love, love, love this hostess program because if I were to ask you right now, can you think of 5 women that you would love to bless that could use some pampering? I guarantee you could think of 5 women right now. When you write those 5 women down, that puts them into your psyche and into your thought. Well, when we offer the hostess plan, we're offering them to get a shopping spree. Now, when you use that closing sheet, the closing sheet that we showed earlier, I use that very specifically as they circle on there what they would love to have if money were no object and it was going to show up on their front porch with a big bow on it. I just want to know if they enjoyed the product. It's not what I expect them to purchase. But once they have done that, we have 2 things in our favor now. 1, we know that they like the product because they circled things. And 2, we know that they have friends that they would like to pamper. So those two things come together with your hostess sheet, because now you have the 5 girls that you want me to bless. Why don't you connect with them? And you can get the shopping spree and get those things that you would like to have that maybe you didn't choose tonight to have show up on your front porch in the next couple of days. So those two things work together to build new classes and to meet new people. So do you guys have questions on that? I love this hostess program. It doesn't cost you money. You know, for a new beauty consultant, if you're brand new out there today, you don't have to worry about going and purchasing a bunch of things. If you're a seasoned consultant, a shopping spree at a 50% discount, girls, there is nothing better than that to anyone who loves the product. And they will, I believe, jump on that. So do you guys have questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you're having them write down the list of girls, I guess I was confused about, like, where did they write that down at? Like, do you just have them think it up in their brain, or?
Well, if you were doing a face-to-face class, it's right in the back of the profile card.
Yeah, but if you're doing it virtually.
When I'm doing it virtually, I just ask them to write there on their piece of paper.
Okay.
To take that sheet of paper that they, you know, whichever one they have in front of it, and just flip it over and write right there on the back. But I feel like there's something very important about them writing that name down and then choosing what products they would like to have. The only reason someone is ever going to hold a class for you that is not your sister or your good friend is because there's something in it for them. Mary Kay always said, make me feel important and what's in it for me. Those are the two things that everyone asks about. And so by creating the people they would like to bless, and so they already know that there's somebody that they could pamper and have a good time with. And then secondly, you are giving them the why, which is a discount product for them. Usually if somebody were to circle everything that they would like to have on the closing sheet, it's usually a lot more than they take home. And it's the same in a virtual class. So if they realize that they can get a discount by inviting some friends to come, it allows them to move forward in that second appointment, which of course builds your relationship with them. So I feel like the two of these are two things that are really key to have a successful online virtual experience. Any other questions? Christy,
Nancy, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so with the hostess plan, so I have a couple customers who helped me out. Like this weekend, I did a 24-24 challenge, and they were super excited about it. It's a couple of friends of mine that helped out, and I was thinking, would it be smart to put maybe the hostess plan in there with their purchase as like kind of like a, hey, if you like these products, would you be interested in hosting a thing with me? And then when I follow up with them, like, hey, how are you liking everything? Would it be smart to like already have that in there so I can be like, hey, did you see the hostess plan that I sent you? Is that something that you'd be interested in? Okay.
Yes. And you know what? Right there where Christy did this so beautifully, right there where it's pink, get your friends together and receive a 50% off. I don't know about you guys, but anywhere that I see 50% off, discount, whatever, that's where I'm going. And that's exactly where their eyes go. There isn't a woman out there that does not want a discount on something that they like. I think the hostess program is phenomenal and that it should go out in every package that you send out.
I agree with that. And Nancy, and I'll just let everybody know, there should be a disclaimer on here that I need to add that they pay sales tax on the full retail amount. So they're basically, that way you're not out any money.
Yeah, that's true.
If that makes sense. But yeah, unless you offer me a 50% off discount, I'm really not interested. You got to make it worth my while. So, okay, great job.
One other thing I wanted to say, guys, and the beauty of this is that let's say they invited 5 friends, but only 3 showed up. I mean, how many of us have had a beauty experience in our home or at the studio where, you know, we thought we were going to have 6 guests and we ended up with 3. They still get a 30% discount shopping spree. So it's a win-win. They don't feel bad like they're losers. They still feel good. They got together with 3 friends. They still get a 30% discount, and it's not an all or nothing thing. And so that's why I love it.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, yay. Well, let's move on to our next thing, and let's find out who's going to be crowned Miss Mary Kay USA. Go for it, Mary Beth.
Oh, I think this is perfect for right now because it's the end of the seminar year, the beginning of the new year, and so many people are getting crowned and queens, and it's just so fun. And so, guys, while Nancy and Christy were kind of sharing bits and pieces, we've come a long way, baby. That's all I'm going to say. When this started in March, it's like we have perfected everything, or not. I'm sure we'll pivot again, but do y'all just feel confident and strong about doing a virtual party? Like what's needed, what the resources are that are out there. Like, I just feel so solid. And even as a sales director, I can say I feel so solid. And my girls that are on, like, we're changing some things. And this is some new stuff than we did last week. But I love it. And so it's just fun when all of our minds come together. We are better together. So guys, this has been a kind of a popular little, I don't want to say a contest. It is kind of a contest that's been going around, with some different sales directors. And how do I meet new people? What do I say? And so the Miss Mary Kay USA contest is absolutely brilliant. So guys, you notice on your little sheet with the little LaCroix on there, it has 50 names, right? Well, guess what? There are 50 states. So kind of went hand in hand. But I want you to think this thought. When you build a business, like let's say that I only built my business in Pleasant View, Tennessee, where I lived, and I never went outside of my little town, okay? Well, what if we had a tragedy to hit? Maybe a flood, a tornado, an ice storm, something happened and we could not work our business. We had no electricity, whatever that might be. Guys, if you have people in other places, if you have consultants, if you have team members, if you have customers in other places, they're not affected by whatever is going on around you. So how cool would it be to have a customer in every state in the United States? Do y'all think that would be fun? Like, there's like states I've never been to before, and that states I don't know anybody, but I'm so excited to meet somebody. So guys, this is kind of how we're going to pitch this out there and talk about Miss Mary Kay USA. Now, again, when you post something out there, you want it to be personable. So I want you to write that down super big. Your post needs to be personal. It does not just mean throw it out there and hope that somebody replies to it. So guys, here's a fun little script that I came up with. And this message would be targeted, and targeted's not a good word. It would be sent to a woman because I know that Susan lives in, what's a fun state? She lives in New Mexico. And so I want to reach out to Susan. Maybe we met on a cruise and we just stayed in touch over Facebook. So this is a message that I would private message her because I don't have her phone number. Hey, Susan, hope this message finds you happy and healthy. I'm reaching out to you today to share some exciting news. Have you heard I'm running for Miss Mary Kay USA? Can you stand it? Seriously, I'm in a contest to connect and send a pink pampering package to a woman in every state. Yes, all 50. This is where I could use your help. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong one. This is to have a friend to introduce you to somebody else. Okay, who do you know in another state that could use some little pampering? A tired mom, essential worker, teacher, nurse, anybody that could use some pampering, relaxation, and fun. And so here are the deets. They'll get a pink pampering package filled with Mary Kay samples, no cost for you or them. And this is a gift from me to them. Please help crown me Miss USA. So this, like, for instance, let's say you have, like, Susan is a friend of mine and her family lives in New Mexico. I would send her this message and I might even personalize it a little bit more to say, hey, I know that your mom and sister live in New Mexico. I would love to find somebody in that state. Okay. All right, so this one here, let's see here. Okay, this is me sending it to, or sending a message to a woman that lives in a state that I want to get to know her. You live in Kentucky, and I don't know a soul in Kentucky but you. So here's the details. Would you help me out? And guys, I love those words. They're not in here, but would you help me out? And I think that at the very end, it says, will you help me be crowned Miss Mary Kay USA? Guys, it's a win-win situation. I think when we're in a contest, we work so much more intentional because we know, okay, I've checked off Kentucky, I've checked off New Mexico, I've checked off Texas. And so as you're flying through that state, or those states, you're really looking at the ones you don't know anybody in, or you haven't connected with somebody. And when I'm, for instance, Susan, her friend Cindy that lives in New Mexico, this right here, I want her to know that we have a mutual friend, Cindy, and Cindy is the one that has given me your information. So I'm not some spammer or some random person out there. And I might even ask Cindy if Cindy would make the connection for me. Cindy to reach out to Susan and say, hey, would you tell Susan I'm going to be contacting her so she doesn't think that I'm some, creep or some crazy K trying to get in touch with her. So guys, it is, that's how we work a referral source, is having one of our friends or one of our customers to introduce you to somebody else. Okay. And here's a fun little map that you can post on your customer page and that you can draw out and that you can say, okay, I filled up Wyoming, I filled up Montana. So guys, are your wheels already turning of like some different people in different states? I know Yesenia, you've moved everywhere. Amy Shelton, you've moved with the military all over the place. So Brianna, you've moved in different places. Jazz, you've moved in different places. So guys, y'all know people in other states, but how fun to branch out. And what if those customers turned into team members? How crazy would it be to have a team member in every single state? I don't know. I think it sounds pretty amazing. So what questions do y'all have on this?
I just want to say one thing about this, Mary Beth, because I think we all who have friends within the Mary Kay community have probably just seen this broad post on people's timeline. And what I want you guys to understand is that is not what we are asking you to do, because when you do that, you don't get the results that you're looking for. And like she said, like what Mary Beth said, make it personal. Like reach out to people. If you've got their phone number, reach out to them that way. If you don't have their phone number, send them that personal private message on Facebook. That is what is going to get you the results.
Absolutely, 100%.
Any questions for Mary Beth? Thank you, Ruth.
I just wanted to say something, Mary Beth. I love the way that you just couch that in such a personal way, instead of just throwing it out onto Facebook, which is what everyone is doing. This is really about being on purpose and being intentional in using the tools that we have, like our Facebook. And so it just made me think about it in a very different way. And when we talked the other day, my mind has been going ever since. And I'm just very excited about this because it is targeted and it is personal and it is intentional. It's not just throwing it out there and hoping somebody picks it up. So thank you.
Well, Nancy, thanks for saying that. I was challenged and by one of my mentors in Mary Kay, and she said, take your brain off. You've done personal court of sales, like how many times, and you get it done early, and take your brain off and dump that into women that you lead and coach and mentor. And guys, I would love, and that's something Christy and I've chatted about. I'm starting a book, not a book. I'm not writing a book, but a notebook of everything that I have done to have that success over my career with Mary Kay. And guys, it is this right here. It's thinking outside the box. It's finding women, when you connect with her on a vacation, how many people have met a friend at the beach or met a friend in the mountains and you've connected over Facebook? Guys, it's a way to develop that relationship and stretch it like a rubber band, like stretch it out there. Make it count, make it worth something. And so we've never been able to connect with people like all over the US. Like we were kind of stuck in maybe, however far you wanted to drive 2 or 3 hours or 30 minutes. Now we can go all the way to Alaska or Hawaii if we want to, because we're virtually. So it's going to be powerful, guys, very powerful.
Yes, love it. I hope your wheels are turning because they definitely were for us when we started talking about this. So we're going to move on. We've got about 15, actually about 12 minutes, and we're very conscientious of our time. But I've asked Jazz to talk to us tonight about her facial jars, how she is working with those. And it's a little different concept now that we are working virtually. And so I love this. So Jazz, if you'll pop in here, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so I've been doing the jars, I think, since April-ish when things have started opening back up. I personally have had some success with it. Um, I will say that I think I got a lot more leads when I was doing the slips. But I have had some success with this. It works for me with my current situations. And so what I do is I made my jar, kind of like the one in the picture, or exactly like the one in the picture, because those are my jars. And then I don't have an Alabama number, so I got an Alabama number through Google Voice, and that's the number that the ladies text. I only use that for my lead jars. I don't use it for anything else. I just use it for my lead jars. I have them text the word beauty. When they text the word beauty, I get it immediately. As soon as I get the text, I do respond to them and I just say, what do I say? Okay, so I just tell them who I am. I tell them what they just entered for. And then I ask them what their name, their age, and if the number that they just text me from is good to text. Now, asking their age was something that I had to remember to ask. I did have a girl that was like 14 and she was trying to do it for her mom. And yeah, so age is really important to ask. So I ask their name, age, and if the number is good to text, then I tell them, perfect, I'll be doing the drawing whenever. So you can choose the day that you do your drawing. I personally, I used to do it every Friday. That was the day. But then I found that that was too much time in between the time that they entered and the time that I did the drawing if they did it in the beginning of the week. So then I said I would do it every Monday and Wednesday, or every Monday and Friday. And that was a little bit too much time. So I do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They message me. So then I message them and I say, hey, this is Jasmine from the drawing that you entered to win for a stay at home pampering package. And I put that in there specifically because that is what they saw on the sign. So they're going to remember that verbiage. And I tell them that they're my winner for that week. And I ask them if it's okay for me to give them a quick 5-minute call. Now, they never last 5 minutes, especially if they're in nursing school or they're stressed out, because I can relate. So it never usually lasts like 5 minutes, but I do say 5 minutes because I don't want them to think that I'm going to be on the phone with them for a really long time, like as if they were at the doctor's office or trying to book an appointment to see their physician. I don't want that correlation. So I say a quick 5-minute phone call, and they usually say yes. I give them a call, and I tell them what's going to be in their package. I like, going back a little bit, I do like to tell them why I'm calling them. So I tell them, or I ask them if I can give them a quick 5-minute call to schedule them and tell them what it's about. Because I want them to know that I want to schedule them because they need to be scheduled. So I call them, I get to know them a little bit, like 2 minutes. I tell them what all is going to come in their package, and then I book them. After I book them, then I tell them that it is extended to her or him, to their 5 closest friends. And then I ask her who she wants to invite. If she's like, well, I don't really know right now, I say that's totally fine. I will send you a confirmation text and you can put your information in there. Yeah, so I answer any of their questions. I get them booked. I ask them what days work for them, a weekday or a weekend, so I can look and see what works for me. Before I get off the phone with them, I tell them I'm going to send them a confirmation text that is going to confirm their appointment. I do say that specifically because I want them to fill out the form. If they don't fill out the form, I can't send them anything. Therefore, their appointment is not guaranteed. So I do tell them I do need them to fill out the form and what the form will consist of. I do tell them that there is a small shipping fee because in my the time that I have them on the phone, I do tell them that due to COVID-19, we had to do some changes. So the shipping is the only thing that will cost them anything because the experience is free. So they usually don't have a problem with that. And they still book, and $5 is not anything to them. So I get their form. I look over it. And then I text them when I get their form, whether it's that day or the next day. And I tell them, hey, I got your form. That way they know I'm paying attention to them, that I'm looking at their concerns, I'm addressing their concerns so I can prepare for their day and they're just not like left in the wind. I do tell them that I got their form. If they kind of like missed where to pay or like how to pay, I will just remind them. If they already paid, then I just leave that portion of the text out. When I send them their confirmation form, or when I send them the text for their confirmation form, I make sure that the Google Doc is attached to that text so they know where to go to fill out the form. So that is very important. Make sure you do attach your Google Doc or whatever method you're using, if you're not doing it right then and there on the phone, to get all of their information. And so after I text them and tell them that I've gotten their confirmation form, I immediately send them my virtual business card so they know that I'm a real person, so they can follow me on my social medias, so they can further confirm that I am an actual person. And they can kind of get to know my personal life to an extent before their experience. So that is something that I like to do. And I might send that business card like when I'm sending their confirmation text, or like a couple of days later, just to continue reaching out to them and all that jazz. So that's what I use, and that's what I say when I'm booking for my lead jars. I have found some success with it. I have had ladies that are very excited, and if I can give any advice, I would say it's on here for the booking. I would book at least 2 weeks out, because USPS, I don't know what is wrong with them, but their packaging delivery is not on time. I have had a lady that got her package like 2 hours after her appointment was supposed to start. So I was not happy. So I would book at least 2 weeks out. So you have time to get their package to them and their guests, especially if they have guests, on time. And then when they get it, I tell them not to open it until the day so they don't start using stuff. So that's what I use. I found some success. If you guys want to play with the wordplay, have at it. But it is working for me. And I'm going to continue to use it, especially when I start traveling as a travel nurse and when I move and all that jazz. So yeah, that's all I got.
Jasmine, that is absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for saying book 2 weeks out. Just because that gives you enough time to get everything, do all of your communicating, get everything in the mail. I will tell you all this, after doing this for the past whatever months, since March, I have found that if we mail our packages on Thursday or Friday, they get there a lot faster than if you mail them on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know what the deal is. That has just been my experience. So if I mail something to South Alabama on a Monday, it takes a week and a half for it to get there. If I mail it on Thursday or Friday, it gets there in like 2 days. So I just think it's probably like a lot of stuff going through the mail at the first of the week. So, but anyway, so you guys, we're just going to pause right there. I'm going to stop the share because we're going to pick up right here next week. But I just, give some really quick feedback of some great takeaways that you all have picked up on tonight. Don't everybody talk at once, please.
I have something. Booking that second appointment. So, that's another thing. With my lead jars, I have had success with booking a second appointment. So book the second appointment because it's a lot more fun. And I tell them that they're going to love even more products, and they usually do. So book that second appointment. But I really loved the referral list. I haven't did a referral list in like who knows how long, and I've only been in for like 7 months, but I never just know what to do with that referral list, and calling all those names and not having people answer is like very discouraging. So I think it does put both me as the consultant and the person that I'm trying to book for the second appointment at ease, because they already know people that they can invite. And I already know that I have something to offer to my hostess because I made it easy for her. Like, she's already seeing the transaction happening. And so I really loved that idea for the referral list. I'm working on partying a little differently to see if it works. And so I'm definitely going to implement the use of that referral list at my next appointment, like at my next beauty experience, because I just want to see how it works. And I'm sure it'll work. I'm sure it will, because it came from Nancy and Christy and Mary Beth. So that's just me.
Amen, sister. Amen. That is awesome. Who else has something they want to share? My husband has decided to print something right now. So got a little noise going on here.
I just think that sometimes it can get really overwhelming with like there's so many different things, like everybody does it differently. And so for me, like I feel like for the past year I've been trying to do everything, and being on the call tonight has really just kind of helped me realize like, okay, I just need to figure out what I want to do, like what's going to work, and like pick one script and like one thing, and then just do those things and perfect those things, and then like things will come instead of trying to chase a million horses at one time.
I love that, Celeste. And and for instance, we gave you so many ideas tonight. And if there's something that's not like, you don't feel, it doesn't feel like you or like it fits, it's like trying on a shoe that's too big or too small. You're not gonna wear it. You might purchase it, but you're not gonna wear it. And so guys, find something that you fall in love with. Like the 50 states, I'm so dadgum excited about that. That's something I'm personally gonna run with. If it's not your thing, like it's completely okay. If the facial jars, Jazz, you did an amazing job. I've never done a facial jar in my life ever, like ever. And so I don't know how to teach that because I've never done those. So to hear you do that so beautifully, amazing job, girlfriend, phenomenal. But yeah, so don't chase a million rabbits because you won't catch one. Find something that works for you, that is your love language, and take it and run with it.
Amen. Amen, sister. The other thing I just wanted to ask really quickly, we use Google Forms a lot, especially virtually. It gives them an opportunity to basically fill out the customer profile ahead of time. And I don't know if that's something that we need to add to our Pink Bootcamp training or not. So if it is, please let us know. That's something that we use a lot in our unit. So. All right, well, thank you everyone for being on tonight. Of course, this is the first of several Pink Boot Camps, and so we'll be adding to what we're going to do next week, but we're going to pick up with honoring working women next week, and that will be really awesome because we're really going to focus on essential workers. So to carry us out, we're going to ask Nancy to lead us off.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
So guys, I've got a challenge for you. And so I'm going to ask you, if you got something from tonight, if you feel like your heart's full or you're just like so excited, you're ready to get off Zoom and go to work, pick up the phone call or pick up the phone or send a text message or a Facebook message to one of your sister consultants that's not on tonight. Sometimes we all get stuck and we get in a place and it's like we get up in our head. I think somebody said that earlier. Somebody has been in their head. And so guys, pick up the phone, invite them, how much fun that you had, what you learned tonight, encourage them, because sometimes it just takes a little encouragement to get them to move again. And it's a brand new year. And guys, we all started July 1st with a big fat goose egg of 0. And so it's a time and a place for everybody to win. So that's it.
Anyone? Okay, guys, I'm going to pray us out of here. We're 4 minutes over, but we did good. Yay. Proud of you guys. Heavenly Father, I thank you for each and every one that is on this call this evening. I thank you for their investment of their time. to just be present and to be in the moment. I know it took either putting yourself in a corner somewhere or shutting the door and separating yourself from the family. But Father God, I thank you for them and for their energy and their effort to be here. I thank you for Mary Beth and for Jazz and for Christy for preparing and sharing and opening their hearts to all of us this evening. Father, I pray that we would take what we learned tonight, that we would do something with it, that we would be an encourager to another beauty consultant, somebody that wasn't on this evening, that we would be inclusive and an encourager to one another. Father God, I pray that we would use this. Knowledge is only powerful when it is applied, that we would use what we learned tonight and that we would move one step and then the next, that we would do just like Mary Beth said, eat the elephant one bite at a time, that we would have laser focus, Father, that we would get clarity and focus, like Celeste said, and choose what is best for us, and that we would create a system that would work as we build our business. Father, I pray that you would guide us and direct us as we go throughout this week, and that we would continue to lift one another up in prayer. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen.
All right, you guys, go have a most wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining us today. And like Mary Beth said, go just create some FOMO with your sister consultants.
Woohoo!